have always loved things scientific, but it was sort of a hobby. I did it in my spare time. And in 2006, a lot of things were happening. Life was falling apart. The things I was really holding on to for my security and my identity started falling away. And I basically said, God, I don't need you. I walked away from my version of Christianity that I had grown up with. And I sort of floundered for many years because I didn't know other people who were asking the same questions. I thought that I would be excommunicated if I were to ask those out loud. So I didn't tell my family, friends. I was kind of going through it on my own. Well, in 2012, my gateway into quantum physics was I had an experience where I fell into a black hole. And so that sounds like Star Trek. And I didn't know what to do with it. I wasn't asking for it, wasn't meditating. It just happened one night laying in bed. But what happened there is all the things we associate with our physical body and all the things we associate with our soul, our mind, our will, emotions, our processing, perceptions, all of that fell away as I traveled through this black hole and ended up on the other side of creation prior to Genesis 1 as spirit. And so that experience of existing without personality, without sensation, it was light, as Brandy was describing. And it was, I couldn't put words to it. I attempted to do that in the book I had written, and people thought I was on ayahuasca as I was writing it. But
this was without chemical assistance, right? That's just
exactly.
Okay.
But there's some things that happen, you can't put words to it, but it's a paradigm shift.
Yeah.
And so it took me years. I was just so fundamentally grounded in the scriptures and process or the systematic theology that it took me a while to let go of that and allow myself to go where this mystical experience was inviting me. And that was my gateway into quantum physics. So as I started diving in, I recognized that most of our experience in our human existence, our human lives, are curated by our body mind, our physical sensations, and our mental processing. So in the chapter I wrote in Quantum Theology, I took the position of an actor who gets lost in the role as a villain in a horror movie. And I have him travel through a black hole, as I did, as a way of separating out this loss of identity into this persona, this character that's very convincing, very difficult to snap out of it. But realizing at some point when he does, that's our invitation to recognize the deeper reality that lies under our body-mind experience, curated experience of reality. And so it's the exposing of the illusion that we see in our day-to-day lives so that we can identify with the reality that underlies that illusion. For me, what that meant was peace and freedom. And that's not to say it's all the time, but it's once you see and experience that, it's really difficult to go back. It's something impossible to unsee. And, deep breathing and walks in the woods get you back to that place where you can experience that true nature of reality that we are all expressions of. And that is just it. My theology from growing up fell apart, as it had to. It was trying to fit new wine in old wineskins. They burst and they could not hold it. And so I'm a whole lot more uncertain and open to the mystery, but just overflowing with joy at the exploration, because now we discover new things. That's fine. If my model of reality is shown to be wrong, I'm open to the next model that I can adapt and overlay and say, this really describes my experience best.